Hi, this is Cynthia. It's February 28th, 2022, and I'm having to drop everything I'm doing again to address another threat Mr. Perry made. Now he's typing in my phone. I'm happy. We got evidence. Okay, let's start over here for the very slow people. Mr. Perry, since the day I was false arrested the first time, has been trying to do it a second time. He does it as he escalates it even more when it's an election time. Remember the last time he did the false arrest? It was an election time. He wants to announce his candidacy. He's desperate to have me pulled over and arrested. He wants to take my car. He wants me to leave Oklahoma. Harass. Remember, I don't go where he is. I have moved twice to get away from him and this kind of crap. Drama. He's happy. Mr. Perry, golly geez. How many times do I have to tell you this? I don't care. What I asked you to do is don't contact me. Get the hell out of my life. What we do every time you make a threat, whether you type it in my phone or it's obtained from police. I want to know, what other of your victims have a McNamara email, a Fabian puzzle, a Mike was drugged email, a oil viscosity email, get her back on that pole and on a schedule email, get her shoe print email, get a ringtone email. Gosh, there's so many. December 18th was a bust. David and Charles couldn't keep their hands out of her wallet, and we worked for weeks on that. That was supposed to be another false arrest. They wanted Manfred to do it. I mean, we've said this, sir, over and over and over and over and over. You had Terry give me jewelry. You wanted to starve me to death. That's the crime right there. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. You're making phone calls to people you shouldn't know exist. You're telling them, don't give her work. We need her nice and broke. You called my parents and said, don't give her inheritance money. That was actually due in 2007. We need her broke. We want her back out on that pole and on a schedule so we can get to her. We need Terry to give her some jewelry, and then we'll say it was stolen jewelry. Make her so starving to death, she'll take it to a pawn shop. And my guys look at the jewelry because I take a picture of it. And they're like, take it to their guy. And their jewelry guy goes, a pawn shop will not take this. It's not worth crap. This is Walmart shit. They won't even take it. So I don't think the recording that you guys have, they played the recording for the jewelry guy, Mr. Perry. They played the recording for the jewelry guy, Mr. Perry. He goes, I don't think they had given it to her yet. Terry Wagner's wife ran the auction. They got a lot of leftover jewelry from the auction. Their house looks like a damn junkyard. Terry was in road construction with David Robertson. Terry initially said, I've never heard of David Robertson or Dynamic Shot. And I was like, sure. And I believe you. You've worked in the same industry in the same state for 40 years. I absolutely believe that's probably true. You never even heard of him. Not even one time. I'm being sarcastic, Mr. Powell. So, Mr. Perry, we have said it over. You tried to get me on drug trafficking. You had me had the drug dealer come in my work, call me over from clear across the room when he had about 12 girls sitting right next to him that actually buy drugs, and asked me to go ask that man if he wants my drugs. The guy was a cop. I knew he was a cop. I'd been sitting there talking to him. So I'm like, well, being that I wasn't born yesterday, probably not going to do that. Don't fucking waste my time again, please. And I went back and sat with my customer. Had I done that, had I been born yesterday, that's drug trafficking. They tried that. Then they found some chick that looks similar to me, that did some crime. Only every witness said she's heavier than Cynthia, her skin's darker than Cynthia, and her hair color's a little browner. And so they send some girl, because they GPS my phone. I'm at Quick Trip getting gas. Some strange woman comes running over to me to ask me specifically what color is on your hair. I need the is it Clairol? I need the name of the brand, and I need the color. Never been asked that in my life. I'm 52. That wasn't a weird flag. That wasn't at all. So I'm asking my guys, why do they want that? That's not normal. That was Charles and Dave. Why do they want that? Oh, they got a chick. She did something. They're trying to frame you for it. Her hair's a little brown. They're trying to get her to dye her hair the same color as yours. So they already checked into it. I've already said it on about 4 podcasts now. And they were like, you need to go tan, you need to go tan. Sure, and I'd love to, but I don't have any money because you guys won't get out of my wallet. You keep calling around trying to make sure I don't make money. So, or jam up my, food delivery apps. Listen, I'm going to say this to you one more time. I have the right to privacy in my home. I did not consent to being peeped on. I've not consented to being hacked. I don't like Charles Perry at all. I don't want any contact with him. And every time he contacts me anyway, it is another act of stalking. My guy's going to get you on that. I don't care how many police you paid to cover up your crime. You're not getting to my guys. There's a reason that nobody will tell you anything. You can make all the fucking phone calls you want to make. Nobody tells you anything because you're dangerous. Dead Lucky, almost dead framed Mike. Almost dead framed Cindy, Mr. Perry. It's duly noted for the record you have actively been seeking a way to second false arrest me because the first one, you obstructed justice, you destroyed evidence, and you committed perjury, and you know it. I didn't get the blood test. No cop saw the video of the night David was making things so uncomfortable, customers complained. So I didn't get to show the cop, here's what happened when the customer complained, cop, the detective, this is when, this guy did this and this guy said this, and here's when the waitress walked over, see, he's complaining to the waitress, see, I'm walking over to the manager, and I'm telling the manager what's happening, because the waitress was dismissive, and it pissed the customer off, look, here's when they made Dave leave, that disappeared, didn't get to do it. I was by physical force prevented and delayed. Because Mr. Perry, I filed the report on the 21st. Mr. Perry had me arrested on the 29th. I wasn't charged in Oklahoma. I was charged in Texas, filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job. No political vendetta anywhere. You imagined that. I'd been in politics all my life. You're the new guy. I didn't need you. You needed me. I already had people I knew that could do a whole lot. I didn't do Texas legislation. I did federal. I did state legislation in New Mexico. You don't legislate in New Mexico. You don't legislate in Oklahoma. I left Lubbock in November 2013. You did that in 2016. I was long gone. You don't matter. I didn't ask you if you're happy. Didn't ask you if you're sad. I don't care. I didn't ask you. What did I ask you to do, sir? Act like you understand grown-up words said to you. Don't contact me. Don't peep. Don't hack. Get out of my life. I moved twice to get away from you. This is Evernote. Philip has access to this. Philip and one or two other people. I'm not going to say who. None of your business. All the threats you make are documented in this. And every recording we get from police is documented in this. It's also in Trello. It's also in Dropbox. Philip has his own Dropbox file. Nobody else has access to it except two other people. Again, not going to tell you who those two other people are. None of your business. Because, unfortunately, since the day I left jail, you've been threatening to do it again. We're going to send her home and harass her. When she tells on us, we'll say she's harassing us. So, Philip gets documentation of all of your threats for a second false arrest. The guy, I shouldn't have to call him at all. He's way over in Lubbock. I'm way over in Oklahoma. So, I have to send him an email every time you fucking threaten me. In case you carry it out, and I end up back over in Lubbock jail. Or some other jail. And they can call Philip and go, gosh, we understand you got about 33,000 emails representing 33,000 recordings of Mr. Perry trying to hurt Cynthia, including arrange a second false arrest. Could we have those? And I can sign yeah, sure, give it to whoever my new attorney is. So we know you've been trying that and trying that and trying that. So this other girl that committed this crime, Mr. Perry, doesn't look like me. I heard the witness I heard two or three of them say, she's not Cindy. She's quite a bit heavier than Cindy. Her skin's darker than Cindy's. Her hair's darker than Cindy's. So even if I had gone to tan, and even if she had dyed her hair on the day of the crime, it's not the same. It's not the same. You also tried to frame me for Caitlin Arquette's murder using my fingerprints from now. And I'm like, wow, okay, here's the thing. I've never shot a gun in my life, first of all. Second of all, her mom already hired an investigator and did all the digging. I didn't hang out with Kate, didn't know Kate, didn't run in the same circles, didn't go to the same school. I never met her. I met her mom at a book signing after she wrote the book about what the detective found about who murdered her kid, her daughter, Kate. After it was like a year or two after it was done. So you can't take my fingerprints from now and put them on a gun and say that's from 30 years ago. You got new incidentals on your fingers, burns and cuts. They're not the same. The print's the same, but the cuts and the marks on your fingers are not. You cut your finger, you burn your finger, it's called an incidental. It's not going to be the same now as it was 30 years ago, and you didn't have access to my fingerprints 30 years ago. I met you in 2010. You're collecting my cigarette butts and my gum from my work at Lady Godiva's. I'm texting people. It's all on the docket, Mr. Perry. Philip and Mallory have it. Ted's probably even got some of those. Over and over. He's taking my cigarettes. He's taking my gum. He's taking this. He's taking that. They want my shoe print. They went out to Sensations asking for my shoe print. And the guy goes, go to her house and get it. Don't do it here. This is a place of business. No, we got to do it here while she's in the VIP. Well, but her property isn't abandoned property, so no. I only know about that, Mr. Perry, because you're under police investigation. I know Michael Neely was drugged and didn't kill anybody, and I said it 2-3 months before it was even out on depositions, because you're under police investigation. You're happy? You got evidence? Ooh, but that's a weekly occurrence with you. Where's the evidence of the political vendetta? Did you imagine that? You imagine a lot of things. You imagine there's a romance. You think peeping is a date. It's not. You're a wackadoo. Now, please stop contacting me. I don't care what you think. I do not care. Everyone is sick and tired of this. You need a lie. We don't care. Everybody else goes and has a normal day. They don't peep. They don't hack. They don't evade people's privacy. They don't call people's landlords and try to get them kicked out of their home. Mine, by the way, did ask you, how many people have you gotten kicked out of their homes? We just had her sign a lease because you said it was going to be okay. He was mad, wasn't he? But guess what? All of a sudden I start getting letters on my door, Mr. Perry. I'd already talked to the attorney. My landlord's attorney. Went in his office and said, here's the deal. Blah, A, B, C, D. Okay, perfect. We'll work with you. It's fine. I'll just let them know. Only it's not fine. When you forward my mail to you, you get my money. You get it. I have a bank card that's been sent out 4 times. When you hack my phone and I'm trying to do food delivery, I signed up for Grubhub. I signed up for Uber Eats. I signed up for DoorDash. And there's also another service that I signed up for. See, I haven't mentioned the fourth one. So how do you know when I'm going to leave my house to go work? How do you know, but for peeping and hacking? Which food delivery service am I working for on any given day? Which part of town? Why won't she go to Chipotle? You know what? None of your business. Maybe you made it uncomfortable for me. You don't have that right. Mr. Perry, stalking is a crime. A pattern of harassment intended to cause fear. I didn't ask you what you think or how you feel. What did I ask you to do? Act like you can understand what's said to you. Mr. Perry, I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you. Here's what I asked you to do. Not once or twice, but every fucking day for 12 years. Leave me alone. Do not contact me. Do not contact my family. Do not contact my landlord and interfere with contracts. Do not contact people I would work with and take my money to try to starve me into a lie. Ghislaine Maxwell is going to prison. I'm not. I'll sleep under a bridge first, and I've made that very clear. If that's your preference, what's going to happen is you're going to make my guys really pissed off, and they're going to get more. And again, I ask the question, which of your victims, because you got a lot of victims, have an harassment email, a McNamara email, a microstruct email, a Fabian puzzle, an oil viscosity email? Oh, why won't she go to Chipotle email, a shoe print email, a ringtone email? All of those are the subjects of an email about what that is that you were talking about doing to me that would be illegal. Harassment, sir. harassment. And there's like 200 of these right here. 200. And I didn't do these always. This started a few months ago. 200, sir. 33,000 emails representing 33,000 recordings of you and your little weirdo group having a meeting to discuss what harm you're going to cause next. We're going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not legal. She didn't call the Duvals. We wanted her to call the Duvals. No, she called the insurance company. Oh, shit, she called the insurance company. Yeah, she didn't call the Duvals. Yeah, okay, that's recorded too. Over and over and over. Which of your victims have that? I have that. Which of your other victims have that? Are you sure you want to keep pissing me off with your unwanted contact and your threats, and I'm happy because we got evidence of blah, blah, blah? Huh? Back to Caitlin's murder. He's telling me, I got your cigarettes, we got your gum, we got your DNA. Right, okay, again, that murder was like 30, 40 years ago. I didn't smoke then. And when I started smoking on my 21st birthday, it wasn't what I smoke now. And the gum that I chew now, they didn't even make it back then. I mean, come on with this frame up deal. So over and over and over, thousands and thousands of emails. If you're trying to, you gotta throw me back in jail because you can't get a date. You don't have a lie either, by the way. You don't have a lie, and you don't have a cover up. What's Tulsa County Sheriff's Department? What's all that? You call Tulsa County Sheriff's Department. I've heard that about 5 times tonight. Why? Why, Mr. Perry? Why do you keep getting recorded, asking for them to call Tulsa County Sheriff's Department? Huh? You got a guy over there helping you? Do remember, I had 2 policemen come to my work in 2015. He wants us to find a way to false arrest you. We told them no. We protect women who are victims of domestic violence. We don't do this. We don't hurt them. But that doesn't mean he won't find an ass who will help him. Mike and Lucky weren't helping you, were they? See, people in general do not like an ass like you hurting people. Day after day after day. You're a sadist. We get it. Mr. Robertson, I get that you have, I guess, some power in Oklahoma and you're used to everybody kissing your ass. Maybe you're with organized crime. I don't know. Here's what I'm going to tell you again. When you bother me, you get told on. Your little guy, Terry, when you got onto him and said, I told you to put tell her to put the registration of her car in the glove compartment. And he said, I did. That's why she didn't do it. She knows I work for you. What is that? What is that, sir? Did we not tell you? Here's the thing with Terry, because we know he works for you. We're watching him very closely for coercion. I'm a witness in a murder, by the way, that you're suspected in. Murder of a police officer. Now, whether Escambia gets you, whether Tulsa police get you, we don't care. We're going to get you. 33,000 emails representing 33,000 recordings. We're going to do it. If nobody else does it, we're doing it now. All that stuff I just said I got it from them. I can't do that by myself. So, your guy, I said specifically, we're going to watch him. If his money's just consistent, like normal customers, then there's no crime there. But if it fluctuates, it goes up and down based on whether or not you think I'm doing what you want, then he's a conduit of coercion. And I think I sent your attorney 2 emails that said that, and you did it anyway. You did it anyway. We're like, wow, okay. This is the guy who wanted to come, he was too distraught to come to get any lap dances on a night you didn't want me to have money. Oddly, though, wanted to come in on the night his wife died. Who the hell goes in a strip club on the night their wife dies? What in the world is that? See, David. Now, I get you're used to bullying people. You're organized crime. I get that. But it's not working out for you this time because you know what I asked you to do? Just leave me alone. I didn't come here to pick a fight with you. I didn't. Every time you try to hurt me, I'm getting protected from you. But nobody's actually picking a fight with you or your organized crime thing. I came here to get away from Charles Berry. He's creepy. He's a sex weirdo. He's not getting a date with me. You got to be normal to ride this ride, and he can't. You can't play with dolls and go on a date with me. Can't do it. You can't be all, drama queen, whiny, I'm entitled. And what I like is men's men who are giving and like my granddad maybe, powers and service. Get up in the morning, who can I help today? Who can I do a random act of kindness for today? I got work to do, I'm going to go work. So that they have something interesting to talk about at the end of the day. I already know what I did all day. I don't want to sit and talk to somebody who tells me, oh yeah, I watched you in the privacy of your home today against your will. And I watched you do this and I watched you do... Yep, I know, I was there. You're creeping me out. Please get off me. Voyeurism is a crime because it's offensive. People don't like it when you do that. If everybody did what you guys do, we would not have a civilized society. And we know that even you, to some extent, expect that civility. Long as it doesn't apply to you, right? You can have your constitutional rights, but no one else can. You're entitled. It's trailer park mentality. Welfare mentality. That's not to say all people who live in a trailer park are entitled. They're not. I've met some good people that lived in a trailer park. I've also met some who thought they were entitled. It's a term people use. Same thing with welfare. I've met some good people, had 2 and 3 jobs trying to take care of kids by themselves and needed the welfare. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who sit on their fat ass and find an excuse for everybody to take, they want a free ride. And so do you. You're no different. Charles, you're selling my body on the internet to make money. I told you you owe me money. You're not going to do that. It's not free. You sitting on your fat, lazy ass getting entertained using my body, my property, and my utilities, you're not going to do that. You're going to pay me. Now, whether or not that happens because I file another lawsuit or whether or not that happens because we get restitution in a criminal matter, I don't care. You're going to pay me. You're not going to go into court and say she consented and she never asked for money. I have, and I don't. I do not consent, and I have asked for money. It's not free. You go down to a club in Vegas, you can get a fetish club, Mr. Perry. They'll let you peep to your heart's content. You got to pay for it. It's not free. You also have to get consent of the other person. You have to get consent. When you go to a fetish club or you hire a stripper or an escort or someone to meet you at your hotel room and you watch them in the bathroom so you can peep, some of those girls will let you peep while they take a shower, you got to pay for it. It's not free. This is not a free ride for you. We are not a couple. You disgust me. You've been rejected every day for 12 years. David, I get you're used to running everything. You walk into a police department or you walk into, some elected official's office with your little bag of money and here's my threats and here's your bribe and you're going to do what I say and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've heard all about it. A lot of people are sick of it. They don't like that. They really don't. You might be getting some pushback. But I didn't come here to fight with you, did I? You're causing me a hardship. You're causing me a loss. And I have police friends that are all over you to keep me safe from you. Perry, nobody asks you what you think. I don't care. You're happy? Okay, whatever. Go tell your wife, Jacqueline, and get the hell out of my life. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. We're sick and tired of hearing from you. We're sick and tired of the hardship. I'm sick and tired of the invasion of my privacy. I said get out of my life and leave me alone, didn't I? Now, if you're a grown-ass man, then you will. If you understand words, then you will. If you're a mental infant, then you're going to keep trying to tell me how you feel and how did you think. Blah. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I said get the fuck out of my life. Didn't I? Do you see this, Mr. Perry? Hey, look, here's the one about the car. All these where it says you're stalking me, a lot of the threats that you've made are right here. We're going to use her as a harassment test case before the Supreme Court. We're going to send her home and harass her. And then, listen, stop trying to contact me. I don't want to hear from you. I don't. Stop acting like you think I care what you think. I don't. I've made that clear. You're making a fool of yourself. Just like Neil, Mr. Perry, you're making a fool of yourself. Just like Neil. How many times she says, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. Okay, normal, intelligent men would go, okay, and leave her alone. He starts talking about her clothes. And everybody's like, whoa, you are not asked, were ya? No one asked you. No one cares, Neil. She said leave her alone. Understand the words. Respond appropriately to what was just said. We're not all special ed teachers. If you can't understand what's said to you and respond like a man your age, prudent, reasonable, prudent individual, leave me alone. You absolutely do not need to be governor of anything but monkeys at the zoo. I've been around a lot of elected officials, Mr. Perry, all my life. My granddad was one. I worked in federal government reform, Mr. Perry. One time is all you say it. One time. When somebody says, leave me alone, then you don't go, well, but what about your clothes? That's not what we said, sir. What did we say? Leave me alone. Stop all forms of all contact. Stop all forms, Mr. Perry, of all contact. You're pissing us off. And then we get more. Oil viscosity, David and Charles, came from Mr. Perry's inability to control himself, get the hell out of my life, and leave me alone. You pissed off my guys. You pissed them off. You asked for it. Mike was drugged. Same thing. Same thing. Ringtone, shoe print, all those emails about that. Same thing. You took my money. December 18th was a bust. We worked for weeks on that. Same thing. You contact me, you get told on. You contact me, you get told on. You peep on me, you get told on. Because it's a crime, Perry and Robertson. It's a crime to peep on a woman in her house. Calvin. It's disgusting. I'm repeating myself over and over, and you guys still don't get it, do you? It just doesn't click for you, does it? I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm not a special ed teacher. I'm used to surgeons, federally elected officials. They say it once. Boom, I had 30 seconds to tell a doctor, your patient's got a blood clot. Your patient's got this. Your patient's got that. I think they got cellulitis. I got to get him to the hospital now. Whatever it was, I had 30 seconds. They're running in between rooms. They're surgeons. They're busy. You've been in a waiting room with a surgeon? You're sitting there forever. They're busy. You need to try it sometime, Mr. Perry. Go get busy. You embarrass the hell out of me, you lazy fat pervert. I wouldn't go on a date with you if the last man on earth and you had a gun to my head. And you pretty much do have a gun to my head. And if you had any power at all, you could get a date without needing a gun to some woman's head. Doesn't even like you. Control yourself, sir. Control yourself. Listen to the words I'm saying to you. Leave me alone. There's not going to be a date with me ever. I'm not going to go on a date with you, Mr. Perry. You make my skin crawl. There is never going to be a date between you and me. It's been 12 years you're rejected and told on, and 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 even up to yesterday, viscosity of the oil. Right? I heard the whole thing. I'm not going to divulge publicly that whole thing because I don't have to. Right now, that's a strategy thing, and I'm not doing it. It's none of your business. I heard the whole thing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? So, what other of your victims has one of those? Huh? You tell me. That's very specific to me. Fabian was somebody I wanted to be with, Mr. Perry, and you butt in. Just like the puzzle shows it. And I got that in jail. Not some random time in my life when you had me false arrested the first time. You obstructed justice. I didn't get my video to show to a cop. I didn't get my blood tested to confirm or rule out arsenic. Because you obstructed justice. And there is no political vendetta. You imagined it. You're a delusional man. You need to be in the butterfly net. Truly need a butterfly net. Still don't have any proof of that. And you're still trying to do it again. Mike was drugged. What other victims have something like that? Turns out he fucking wasn't he? But look at the date on that. That's May 2020, that's March. I said it before, it was even obtained in a deposition. And I don't think that was even put on the docket until like June. How did I know that, David? Because you guys are under investigation. When you piss me off, you piss 40 cops off. And then we get oil viscosity. Ringtone. Gotta get a ringtone. Gotta get back out on that club and on the schedule. Terry, we got to starve her. Give her some jewelry. We'll have her pawn it and have her arrested for possession of stolen jewelry. You forgot to tell him, give me jewelry that's worth a shit that a pawn shop would take. Calvin, was that you? Was that you? Get her shoe print. My guys out of my club are like, go to her house. Go to her fucking house. Don't do that here. This is a place of business. Well, she's in the VIP. Yeah, but it's still her property, and you don't have a. And I heard one of you guys go, "There's nothing wrong with that." Like you're bullying the guy, and if you say that mean enough and loud enough, he'll go, "Oh, okay, wrong." If it's not abandoned property, you cannot go back in the back and just help your stuff to other people's things. You got to have a warrant or a court order. Mr. Perry, shut the hell up. You cannot help yourself to other people's things, Mr. Perry. This is proof of that. If you don't like getting told on, it's hard to tell. It looks to us like you do. Look at that. That was in October 2015. He's trying to find a way to false arrest me. Okay, when was my false arrest, Mr. Perry? Wasn't that like a few months later, after I talked to those two officers who were pissed off that they were even being asked? They were appalled. Can't believe they're asking me to do this. I told them no. See, I didn't get the blood test because you obstructed justice. 18. Title 18 of the United States Code, 1512 and 1513. You blew it up, didn't you? Didn't you, Mr. Perry? What does this say? Look at that. The 29th of January. The police report wasn't filed. It was 21st, a week. It was a week. Look at this. When did I get a call from Tulsa police? Now, Tulsa police had no business giving you my police report. The 40 cops that helped me get all this oil velocity, get a ringtone, give her jewelry, and we'll do a false arrest on that. She dances with her socks on, and we'll arrest her on that. Yep, for 6 years I danced with my socks on. A lot of those girls dance with nothing on their feet at all in every club I've ever worked in. So, selective prosecution, I don't know. I gave a lot of dances to a lot of cops, and I said, what's the deal on the feet? Gotta have your feet covered. You're fine. If I was doing something wrong, that one of those guys would have arrested me long before now. But see, and I haven't danced for a year. But see, Charles has got to run for office now. It's time. It's at election time again. We got another smear campaign we need, right? You're happy? You got evidence? You live on Planet Weirdo, Mr. Perry. I think your definition of evidence is a little different than mine. You had evidence that I killed Kate, except you didn't. You had evidence that I did some other thing this other chubbier girl did, only you didn't. If you're trying to ask me to tan and dye my hair to match hers, I mean, she needs to dye her hair to match mine, and you need me to tan to make my skin match hers, and would you put her on a diet too? This girl's heavy. The girl we saw is heavier than Cindy, quite a bit heavier, the guy said. I heard it 2, 3, 4 times. Because you guys are under investigation. You got wiretap orders, you got leaks, you got all kinds of things all over you 24/7. So when you contact me, Mr. Perry, at all, when you peep and hack and invade my privacy, you try to do something like take my car, take my home, take my, and my money, whatever it is you do, then we get more of the things that you don't like us having, like ringtone, and have her sell her, have her take the jewelry into a pawn shop. Can we not get her back over to the car dealership? How many times did y'all say that? One of you complained you can't trust any of those guys. You can't trust Mo or any of those guys, and you were told, yeah, but she's not quoting Mo, she's quoting you. Right? Quoting you, wasn't I? Who was that? Was that Calvin? Who the fuck is Calvin? So, when, yeah, they call me on the 15th. I'm already in jail. What in evidence? I mean, it doesn't get any uglier than this. And then, what you promised to do, Mr. Perry, the charges are, of course, dismissed. There's no case. Mr. Powell had no intention of going to trial. He didn't preserve my evidence either. That said, Mr. Perry admits guilt. Number 1, he'll leave me alone. He shall have no contact of any kind with Cynthia Ortiz. What do you not understand what words mean, Mr. Perry? The rest of the world is not special education teachers. They do have special education teachers. They can help you understand what words mean. I'm not that. I worked with surgeons and federally elected officials that get a boom, boom. Life is fast, life is busy, you better pay attention, you better keep up. We're not going to slow down for you. Respond right to what was said to you. I didn't say what do you think? Did I? What did I say? Shut up and get out of my life. I don't want to hear it. Don't contact me again. Don't contact my family again. Don't stay the fuck away from me. And the more problems you cause and the more you impose and invade and butt in and bother, the more information we get because you piss my guys off. That's what I'm saying. If do your other victims have all this? McNamara email, we're going to have our car towed email, Mike was drugged email, all beforehand, not after. You sure you want to piss me off? Here's what you were asked to do. Leave me the fuck alone. Your conduct is illegal because it offends people. Our society said we're going to be civilized, we're going to have some dignity and class, and we are not going to act like that. And if we do act like that, you go to jail. Because if everybody act like that, we don't have a civilized society. You're not entitled to shit. You need to get off your ass, Charles Perry. Put your doll down and go fucking work. Girls think if you liked girls, you would do what girls like. Girls like men who work hard and don't whine and cry. They didn't get their way. And I understand when I was in Manford, you had a meeting with somebody. And the guy said, we told Charles he needed to let her go. You need to let her go. You're causing problems for the rest of us. And he clenched his fist and he turned red and he started throwing a fit. And he goes, I had to leave the room. I wanted to throw up. I've never in my life seen a grown man act like that. It was embarrassing. And the guy, somebody else later said that guy didn't get spanked enough as a kid. He's a spoiled, rotten little brat. Only he's a little old man and he ought to know better how to act right. Golly. What in the hell is that? You can want a girl, but if she doesn't want you back, it doesn't matter. Go find one that does. Go fucking find one that does. Because if you stalk, it's a crime. You go to jail. Mr. Robertson, the days of you walking in a police department with your little bag of money and your little threats, you have threats and bribes. Everything's a threat and everything's a bribe. Isn't it? $25 million is a lot of money to spend for a cover up you did not get. Because all your crime stuff is more out there than ever before. We're getting it done. We're doing it. We don't want your money. We want you to stop. We want you to fucking stop. Stop causing hardship. Stop stressing everybody out. Stop threatening people. Stop with the crime. Stop it. Charles, you need a butterfly net. Leave me alone. Sounds nothing at all like what do you think? It is appalling that you can't figure out what words mean and how to respond right at your age. Now, I don't care if you're happy. I don't care if you're fine. I don't care what you think. I don't care. Didn't ask you. Now, if we can get off, I'm the only victim that has shit like this, and Mike was drugged, and the McNamara email, and the harassment email, and on, ringtone, shoe print, get her back out on that pole and on a schedule. We got to make her leave Oklahoma. Hey, yeah. Okay, you're doing the same thing every day and you're getting the same results. That's the Lubbock way. Well, we've been doing it like this for 30 years. Doesn't work at all, but we'll do it like that anyway. Okay, misogyny's done and over with. Gender bias, discrimination, done and over with. Get the fuck off Noah's Ark. I'm not from Lubbock, but I lived there. I've lived in Oklahoma longer than I lived in Lubbock, so I didn't even understand that. I lived in Vegas. You don't act like that in Vegas. You don't. You just don't do it. Civilized society. Heard of it? If it's a crime, people don't like it when you do that. And a lot of times they'll turn against you. And boom, you got a leak. So cut it the hell out. David, you might be the head of the mafia in Oklahoma. I don't care. I really don't. I'm not from here. Didn't come here to pick a fight with you. What I ask you to do, leave me the hell alone. You're bothering me, Mr. Perry. You need to shut up. Mr. Perry, did anybody ask for your input or for you to comment? Nope. Nobody cares. Don't contact me, because if you do, I promise you, we're going to get more like this. Don't contact me, don't peep, don't hack. We'll get more just like this. Oil viscosity. You're provoking, you're pissing my guys off, because what we say, get the hell out of my life. Leave me alone. I don't want to hear from you. When you cause me hardship, when you cause me a problem, when you cause me a loss, when you cause me to stress out, my family, same thing. When you peep, hack, and contact me, you weird Perry. Charles, you're weirdo. You're creepy. I don't like you. You have to be normal to ride this ride. You don't even begin to fit into my crowd. You don't even begin to fit into my crowd. Not even a little. So, my crowd, you say it one time, that's it. Everybody gets it. Everybody responds right. Everybody can do, people don't go around looking to hurt other people. Nobody's a sadist. This, right here, kind of thing, is what happens when you peep, hack, contact me. You got to tell me how you feel. No one cares. No one cares that you are not asked. When you start threatening me, start coercing me, you cause a problem for me, you invade my privacy, emails like that start popping out everywhere. That is your choice. Leave me alone, or we're going to get more of these until they finally arrest you. And they're going to arrest you. We're not getting all this stuff to just do nothing with it. It's not going to be used as party entertainment. It's going to be used so that you're stopped. If you can't control yourself, then somebody else is going to do it for you. If you can't act like a grown-ass man and control yourself and act, go do normal things normal people do, they don't need to cover up later, then, you're going to have a problem with these people helping me. Okay? I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. You're going to have a problem with them. Now, Charles, I don't care if you're fine. He'll tell you it's either I'm happy or I'm fine. Don't care. Didn't ask you. How many different ways? Let me say it again. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you. You are not asked. Listen to the words I'm saying, Mr. Perry. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Don't contact me. I don't like it. Leave me alone. Do not contact me, Mr. Perry. I don't like it. Leave me alone. Now, you've taken up about 2 hours of my time tonight with this bullshit. I'm very busy. You need to get a life. My guys will deal with that in restitution too. All the hours of my day that you took causing a problem or interfering with, butting into whatever it is I was trying to do, because you got to say what you feel, or you got to make a threat of some sort. Leave me the hell alone. Leave me the hell alone. Get a life. You are a bizarre bore at best. Get a fucking life. And get out of mine. David, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I didn't come up here to pick a fight with you. I'm used to a whole different kind of mafia. A lot more professional, a lot smarter. I don't even know what to say to you. But I'll tell you what. Walking into a police station and starting to make threats, and here's the bribe, and we want you to do this, and we want you to do that. I'm going to tell you, I'd be very careful about continuing to do that. I'd be very careful. Because sometimes you rub the wrong person the wrong way, and that gets to the wrong person. These calls that y'all make all over the place. Those calls that you make. There was one not long ago. Guess what? We just got a call about Lynn Hall's daughter. Guess what she's doing? She's about to catch a very bad man, cop killer. Because you called asking if it's them. Is it anybody here? Does anybody? Nope, it's not us. But it might be somebody higher up. We don't know. I don't know. They were all sitting around speculating. What is it? Who is it? Could it be? I don't know. What if it is them? What if it's not them? What are you going to do about it? You going to walk in with your little bag of money and start threatening those guys? Huh? I think we've all had about enough of that. We've had enough of it. We have had enough of it. And you're being stopped every time you're told on. You don't know who has all that. You don't know what they've already done with it, what they're going to do with it. When I say already done with it, I mean in a court of law. I don't mean this is not blackmail or something. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in a court of law. I need a probable cause order for a wiretap on this guy because he just was talking to this guy. We're expanding this thing. I want this guy on wiretap too. Now. Like maybe a landlord. Okay? I said stop it. So act like a grown-ass man, like you understood the words I just said, or you're asking for it. You're asking for more like that. Ringtone, Richard, get her shoe print. Oh gosh, we got to get Cynthia tanning. Her skin's not dark enough to match the person who actually committed the crime. Okay, you know, Jesus.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't.
Do you see how frustrating everybody is with him? Frustrated? Nobody asked him what he thinks. He wasn't asked. What was he asked to do? 6 times. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Mr. Perry, act like a man your age. Act like a man your age. Act like a man that understands what was just said. Sir, you have doctors looking at your file all the time. Act like a man your age. Leave me alone. When you contact me, I don't like it, so stop. When you threaten me, I don't like that, so stop. When you bribe me, I don't like that, so stop. When you go into court and lie, I don't like that, so stop. And then you get McNamara email, Fabian puzzle, ringtone emails, shoe print emails, oil viscosity emails, on and on and on. That is the results of your actions. You're pissing us off. What other victim has that? I'd be very careful about pissing us off. You're not all there, though. You may not put that together, that maybe you ought to not bother me anymore. You're very slow. It's very irritating. I'm used to people that get it, boom, 30 seconds. Half the time, I don't even have to finish my sentence. You're very slow, and it irritates everybody. This guy was told 6 times, leave me alone. And he starts talking about her clothes and no one asked him. And you're no different. You are that pathetic. You're that irritating.
I want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Leave me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
You do that to me, terrorize me like that. McNamara email, Fabian puzzle, harassment email, viscosity email. She torpedoed my case email. Get her back on that pole and on a schedule email, shoe print email, ringtone email, cell phone ping email. Are you getting me? You frame her on a jewelry thief thing. Scam. Email. Only got. Oh, jeez. We should have told them to give her something of value. It's all Walmart shit. A pawn shop won't take. Why won't she go to Chipotle? On and on and on and on and on. When you do this to me.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, Theo. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes.
Now, the police that commented, he called up here. Do you know Lynn Hall's daughter? You know what she's doing? Man, she's involved in some pretty big. This is criminal shit that is big. That's Lynn Hall's daughter. Okay, that doesn't mean that's a policeman in New Mexico, because policemen in New Mexico have now traveled sometimes. Some of them are working somewhere else now. But the thing is, you're calling all over the place, and it's getting all over the place that you're looking. And you haven't gotten anything yet, have you? 6 years. Keep making your phone calls. I'm a hero. I'm a fucking hero right now. They killed a cop. She caught him. She's the one that caught him. Lynn's daughter. Thank you, by the way. Appreciate it.
I don't want to ever talk to to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice, see you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop! Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.